Hey everybody! In this video, I want to explain to you guys how you can get better at Fortnite right now in Chapter 5 Season 3. And let's be honest, this season is not the best for practicing your skills in build mode or zero build. We have cars that plow through your builds and launch you into the air.
Howdy. Uh-oh. Is that fall damage death? No.
Nitro Splash that lets you ram through walls and damage players, Nitro Fists that let you break builds, take high ground, and win close range fights, Boom Bolts dealing oppressive explosive damage to players and builds, there's the new Harpoon Gun, there's the new Ride the Lightning mythic that makes it way too easy to dive into fights or endlessly run away from fights. Right now, unless you are already an expert level builder, your best strategy is just to use these items instead of building, instead of strategizing with map rotations, and instead of using your aim and movement. Just watching these clips, you can barely even tell that I'm playing build mode here.
I think that's game, boys.
So with how strong these items still are, even after the recent balance changes, it is nearly impossible for the average player to practice their skills in Battle Royale. In build mode BR, for example, you might feel punished for trying to build anything. Most of the time it feels like if you're building a lot, you're probably about to be eliminated.
Look at what he has to build to mimic a fraction of our power.
So how do we fix this? How do we get practice so that we can improve our performance in a realistic setting? Some players are spending a lot of time in creative mode. I've noticed the player counts for popular maps have been steadily increasing this season, and that makes sense because those maps offer a wide variety of game modes where you can practice different skills against real players. Some of my favorite places for practicing are in popular maps like Peace Control 1v1 and 2v2, Box Fights, Zone Wars, Speed Realistics. There's even Zero Build Realistics where you can practice with just your movement and your aim. Each of these game modes alone are great, but there isn't really a single creative map where you can put all of your skills together to become a more well-rounded player. Lucky for us though, right now we have an amazing new game mode called Reload.
Look at this. There are nearly 500,000 people playing Reload. There's only 228,000 people playing regular build mode Battle Royale. More than double. That's insane.
This mode is a fast-paced battle royale that uses an updated version of the Chapter 1 map. In each game, instead of 100 players, each lobby starts with only 40 players. When you have at least one player left alive on your team, all of the eliminated team members will be able to respawn, dropping out of a rift in the sky with 100 wood builds and a gray AR. Right now the game mode is locked to squads only, so you'll always have 3 other players on your team. If you're watching this video on June 27th or later, there should now be a new Duos game mode for you to play. In Duos, because there's fewer players and because of how the respawn system works, each match is going to have a lot less action and you might end up getting a lot less practice per minute spent playing this game mode. The flip side to that is playing with a duo means you're likely going to be communicating better and playing with your teammate. So that's the trade-off, is you either get that duo synergy practice or you play squads and you get more practice shooting players, more practice in 1v3, 1v4 scenarios, and more action overall during the whole duration of the game.
What?
Reload does have the current movement and building mechanics of Chapter 5, including mantling ledges, tactical sprinting, sliding, hurdling, everything we're used to. But the weapons don't have attachments, there aren't any first-person mode scopes besides snipers, and all of the guns besides snipers are hit scan. That means that the instant you shoot, your bullet arrives at the target.
Oh, God, I missed. Don't you guys miss normal pump damage?
Now some of you might be asking, Billy, why are you recommending this mode when it's so much different from Chapter 5? And you're right that it's different, but that difference is exactly why it's so much better than the current Battle Royale mode for improving your skills. For example, there's only 40 players, but because of respawns, you're getting so many more chances to fight. You could play normal Chapter 5 Battle Royale for an hour and get maybe 10 to 20 kills, but in Reload you'll get 100. On top of that, being able to respawn means you get to learn from your mistakes and immediately try again. If one team eliminates you, you get to learn something about their playstyle and then you can fight that same team again right away. So you can literally feel yourself improving during a single game. The hit scan weapons also improve your aim quite a bit. It took me a few games to get used to it again, but it made me realize immediately that I needed to put more effort into aiming precisely. Chapter 5 bullet projectile physics definitely make us lazy with our aim. We've been trained now to aim some distance ahead of a moving target, but we're not snapping onto one point and following smoothly like we do with hit scan weapons. So practicing with hit scan weapons is really the absolute best way to improve the amount of control you have over your crosshair movements. I even noticed that with a day of practice, my shotgun aim got a lot better. And that kind of improvement to your overall hand-eye coordination skills will improve your builds, your edits, and it'll even make you better at using the Chapter 5 weapons, even though you have to lead your shots with those. We don't know what the game will look like next season, but we always know that the basics will continue to be valuable. Practicing your movement, aim, and fundamental building skills will always improve your overall performance, even if those skills are sometimes overshadowed by crazy additions to the game. The last and most serious turnoff for players who aren't enjoying Reload is the fact that this game mode is locked to teams of 4 and does have skill-based matchmaking. The most common complaint I've heard is that this is a sweaty game mode that absolutely requires you to play with a tightly knit group of skilled teammates who communicate well. And that's just flat out wrong, and it means that those players have been playing this game mode wrong. If you're trying to improve, you should queue solo. Don't take it seriously. This is not a competitive mode. It's a way to practice the skills you need to practice and have fun doing it. If you only ever play this mode when you have 3 other teammates online, you're going to perform well, but it'll be too easy. You're not going to get practice in 1v1, 1v2, 1v3, 1v4 scenarios. Whoop! Oh, we almost had it, dude. We almost had it. And by playing as a full team, you're going to perform better than the average player, and you'll end up in lobbies with sweaty players who are a million times more experienced than you and your teammates. And that's just the curse of skill-based matchmaking. The harder you try, the harder your lobbies get. And at some point, you might never win a game. You'll end up in lobbies with other teams that are trying hard to win, but what's worse than that, what's worse than the tryhards is, if you're trying hard to win, you'll end up in lobbies with players that can win without trying, because they're just that sweaty and skilled. You don't want that. You need to practice against players near or even below your skill level first. Otherwise, you'll just get punished and beat into the ground, and that sucks. So if you're trying to get better, play Reload, but don't try to hide from the enemies. Don't try to win. Do drop at tilted towers. Do dive into fights. Do practice your aim and movement, and do try your absolute hardest to use all of your wood builds before you get eliminated. Then you can respawn up in the sky and do it all over again. I promise you, if you're having a hard time, this is the way to change things. It might take 5 to 10 games to notice a difference, but playing like this will definitely decrease your skill-based matchmaking rating, which means your games will get easier and easier, and you'll eventually find yourself with a stacked loadout, chilling on high ground, ready to easily win the game with a fat pump to the face. Playing Reload will always make you a better player, but it's not the fastest way. If you're passionate about the game, you want to play better with friends and family, or you want to take it more seriously and start playing competitively, if you're willing to do absolutely everything it takes to improve your skills as fast and efficiently as possible, what you need to do is get a coach. Over the last 5 years, I know this sounds crazy, but I have coached hundreds of players across every experience level imaginable. Some of my clients just wanted an introduction to the basics, and others were looking to improve their cash cup placements. Either way, having another player watch your gameplay, show you what's missing, explain how to fix it, and set you up with a specific practice routine, all of that is crucial for improvement. So if coaching is something you think you might be interested in, make sure to check out my coaching Discord channel, and I'll include a link in the video description. To make things easy, I have a new Google form to help us get started as soon as possible. You'll fill out some information about your hardware, your experience level, and your goals for improving your skills, and once you're done, all that's left is for us to schedule our first coaching session. I personally love it. Coaching is a lot of fun. I love meeting you guys, and it helps me learn more about the experiences of the average player, and I can use that to improve the quality of my content here on YouTube and during my live streams on Twitch. As always, thank you all for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Man, I'm still getting used to that strangely early drop. We're dead. Unless this guy is not good. Please! Let me live! You are just the worst.